Hey, what you're about to see is a bit messy compilation of my post reactions to the series Lupin, to each episode. I had fun doing it. If this looks a little bit messy for you, I'm sorry. Hi. Hi. Okay. So today, my name. This is my first video. Apparently, I filmed a bunch of others, but I have not posted any of them for obvious reasons. My name is Fer. That's short for Fernanda. Like the song, like the ABBA song. Can you hear the drums? Fernando. It's just that it's not Fernando, it's Fernanda. Okay. So we have that cover. Okay, another thing. Why am I speaking English when it's clearly not my first language? It's just because I like it. I like to speak other languages. And then when I edit, I notice a bunch of mistakes. Then I try to do better. So it's a good practice. Today, we're going to be watching Lupin, apparently. That's French for Lupin. And the way that it's going to work is that I'm gonna inform you after every episode. There are 5 episodes. And after that time, I'm just gonna tell you this is what happened in this episode, and this is what I think about this episode. And at the end, we're going to search for some reviews, what it is about. As a teenager, Hassan Diop's life was turned upside down when his father died after being accused of a crime he didn't commit. 25 years later, Hassan will use Arsène Lupin, gentleman. I'm sorry, it's so hard. Gentleman burglar, that as his inspiration to avenge his father. Okay, so it's about that. It's a French production from Netflix, I think. So we're going to watch it on French. First episode. It starts with a really great shot from the Louvre. I'm sorry that I'm butchering both languages. So at first I was noticing these lines, there are some lines that give the shot framing. So these imaginary shots, they tell you what to see. They're really symmetrical and I really enjoy that. It has its science, okay? Probably the reviews are going to say, oh, it has really good shots. I'm betting on that. We'll see. We'll learn about that later. The thieves, the whole time, they're stupid. If you're going to steal from the Louvre, you're not having these people on your team. I'll see what you're doing. But then we found out that he knew that they were going to betray him. He knew that they were stupid because they were so stupid. They were supposed to take down the guards, the security guards, and they used some spray with chloroform, but it didn't act immediately, so they kind of panicked and they start hitting them. And then one of them didn't know how to stop the cameras from filming, and he just pressed all the buttons. I mean, what if you're calling backups? I mean, dude, I really liked it because at first, it's like, no, this is not gonna work out, dude. But then he works solo, which is good. But then he has a son. It's going to be probably a weakness for him. So let's see the second episode. Okay, second chapter. This chapter starts strong with Hassan going into prison. You're shocked that he's there, of course, but it has to be part of some scheme. Hassan goes to prison. Why? Because he's looking for somebody. How he goes to prison? He's a prisoner. Yeah, he's a prisoner, but he's not under arrest. That was good. He rereads the letter that his father left for him, and he has a couple of words misspelled. You know what? It's funny. After 25 years, he's just wondering why he misspelled those words now. He has really good tricks to get into prison and getting out of there. Not very detailed, like you've seen in the movie, because I know I get it, it's an episode. You have to believe that he has been training for 25 years. So that's great. Here, the cops seem to be a little bit incompetent. And there are some surprises that I'm like, that's no surprise, dude. When he's confronting her about the confession, he's like, you were the one who paid for my education? She's like, I just wanted you to forgive me. And he's like, this is so shocking. And I'm like, dude, I thought you already knew that. It's all orchestrated by him. Or maybe not, because he doesn't seem so smart because of his angry issues. Maybe it was Mrs. Pellegrin. Maybe she was, because this has to take a dramatic turn at some point. The guilty is going to be Mrs. Pellegrin. Yes. I'm not gonna lie, this is another day, another makeup, same outfit, so it's the same video. But yesterday was 2 a.m., so I hope you can understand. So Lupin is like the goal. He wants to be like Lupin, he studies Lupin, but Hassan, has flaws. I don't know if this is what we're supposed to be seeing, but I highly doubt that Lupin would make these mistakes. He never uses a mask, or he never really uses some kind of costume, or not even glasses. His face, I would say it's like really hard to forget. So if you see him once, you can probably recognize him later, or you can probably give like a really good description. How incompetent are the detectives? Now they know that Paul and Louis, now they know that they're all the same person. Maybe just CSI hide up my expectations, and this is like a more realistic thing. But I don't understand, how can not they tell what's happening? That is one of the things that bothers me. The other thing is he's just so sloppy or so cocky, and he hadn't killed anyone so far, which I think is a really quick solution to the problem immediately, but it creates a long time preoccupation, which is good. I'm happy that he didn't kill this dude. I don't like how he just asks straightforward questions. Maybe I'm too paranoid, maybe I'm too anxious, but I would not be doing it this way. I would try to cover all possibilities. But this is his personality. It has been good enough for him through 25 years. Maybe this is why he gets caught in 5 chapters. In this episode, we're digging a little bit more in his relationship with the mother of his child. I think it's going good. It's developing the character. Dumont, the detective, it's just like another piece in the puzzle. Now with this episode, I see him like a more human person. But before, I just see him like a really bad guy. This episode gives him a little bit of depth. You can see he's conflictuated with the things that he did, that he had to do. The bad guy is Mr. Pellegrini. I'm so sorry that I've been pronounced Pellegrin. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. But it is Mr. Pellegrini. He's the one who's behind this. Maybe to charge the insurance. We'll see. Well, everything happens a little bit fast. We're introduced to Fabienne, and we say goodbye to Fabienne in this episode as well. It was a good episode. Well, I like Fabienne. She has a couple of points in her favor, so you can think that she's a trustworthy character. She is broken. She is an old lady, and she has a dog. So if she has a dog, she has to be trustworthy. So it has many elements of it. A highlight moment, besides the death, You can see her face. That's a good acting. She was like, I have no hope, I hate my life. And then she goes to this, with that moment, with that question that she made, and that answer that she received. She's happier again. She has found the meaning of life again, what her passion is. I really like the moment. And then the following scene where she's being followed and we are like with her, the camera is moving. So I like that scene too because I got a little bit dizzy. Security dudes, you know who they are because they have these beanies and they're wearing all black. You would think, oh, that's because it's night. But no, during the day they're wearing the exact same thing and don't like it because usually they wear suits. And now we understand that you're hanging with rich people, you're not wearing a beanie. I just finished the 5th episode of Lupin, and so it stars really sad. Jacques is reading newspaper. It's sad. It's sad. That's not what he wants to read. With this episode, we see a sightless gentle from Asan. So far, he has been a thief, yes, we know that, but he has been kind most of the time. In this episode, we can see him in 2006 being not a really nice guy, being a thief. We also see him being unfaithful to Claire. We see all of his bad side. What did I love? In general, I love the charisma from Asan. I think that without it, he will not be a really successful thief. Besides his tricks, I think he really needs the charisma so he can get away with it. I think everyone else is really stupid in this series. I'm not fully convinced. I mean, how you're not going to suspect something? You never told us nor show us until the 4th episode that Asan could change his appearance because he really didn't. He just put on some glasses sometimes and a hat and changed his outfit. And I know that can be enough sometimes. That is enough for Superman, but I don't think it's enough here. That's what I hate. I think people are quite stupid here. It really bothers me that Asan won't take the time to cover his face. And I think, yeah, well, in this world where everyone's really stupid and clueless, I don't have to. And the tricks are cool, even if they're being clueless and a little bit stupid. I think that the tricks are really cool. My favorite tricks will be all of them. But I really liked when he went into prison and not being a prisoner. How he gets out, I think that was a little bit I think it's still a really good series. But I also don't like, why am I saying all the things that I don't like? I really enjoyed it. And also I hated the way that they parsed it, this. There are only 5 episodes, 46 minutes long. Why would you just cut it? What did we learn from this? I mean, I think all of the things we learned, we already knew that from episode 1. From the moment that we found out that the necklace was never stolen or that we were suspicious about it, we all knew that the real guilty was Mr. Pellegrini. The actual point of the series, maybe, was how is he going to get away with it. I did love episode 4 because we were introduced to this woman. The way that she dies, a journalist never tells on his source. I think I said it right. I don't know if I just like her because she had a puppy. Maybe that's why. But regardless, I think she was a really good actress. I liked it. I like all characters. I don't think anyone is giving like a really bad performance. I don't know about performance either, but I can't believe everything that they're saying. Good for them. So on that part, I'm good. I bought everything. I just don't like the way it ended. Did not feel like a season ending. Because that was the first huge problem that Lupin has faced. Maybe this first season was really just fun, just to know what he can do. And later we're going to find out more interesting stuff about Mr. Pellegrini and the necklace and the life of Claire in a sense. This time we're only gonna talk about Rotten Tomatoes reviews and critics because I could not find a lot of reviews from this show, even though I read an article that said Lupin was one of the most viewed series when it was released. It has a 98% in the Tomatometer and a 79% audience score. Okay, so everyone like this. Omar Sy. Oh yeah, who was Omar Sy? I was going to ask because his name appeared on the screen at the beginning and at the end of every episode. And I was like, this probably is someone important for the show. For the top critics, this was a really close to perfect series. It was addictive, clever, doesn't waste a single minute, full of suspense, the best shows of the year. Omar Sy's performance was wonderful, fun escapist entertainment, right balance. The only critic that has something a little bit bad to say is this one from Peter Martin, saying, over the course of 5-hour-long episodes, the question of how can he afford this constantly kept coming. But that's the only thing. But then, the audience score, it's saying good stuff. The good stuffs are in green, like well written and put together. I can wait for the second part. But then the yellow are a little bit not bad, but they're not rating as good as the others, like these ones with 2 stars, saying it was unrealistic. And yeah, we've mentioned that before, it is unrealistic. And this one saying funny, witty, and full of twists. Full of twists? I'm not so sure. As here M.E. says, is predictable and not the best acting. I disagree on that. I like hardly disagree on that, M.E., because I bought everything. But then this other user, whoa, gives it a half a star. Whoa, completely stupid and really flawed plan. One side he is broke, and other side he is having all tech gadgets and devices. Yes, that was suspicious. We all agree on that. For the most part, there are good reviews and good critics. I did find a critic from Fuera de Foco. It's in Spanish. And she said, Gaby Mesa said, that it used a lot of Deus Ex Machina resources, which is an unexpected power or event saving a seemingly hopeless situation, especially as a contrived plot device in a play or novel, which happened a lot. Most of Lupin's tricks were like this. They didn't explain a lot. You just have to assume that he did a really great job, and what happened. So I think we learned that today. Thank you, Gaby Mesa. And well, now you know. In general, I liked it a lot, and if you have not watched it, please watch it. I highly recommend it, especially if you're learning French. It's really good. So, thank you so much for watching. If you have any other reviews or critics or comments about this Netflix show, well, just tell me in the comments. I'll see you next time. Bye!